Welcome. Here is a video about my absolute favorite mobility tech I have found in Path of Exile 2. Also quick build update after, but the mobility is for any class that can have a shield in their weapon swap. It is better on Pathfinder, since Pathfinder can have the movement without penalty when attacking. But it will work for anyone else, at the very least for transport, and be one of the fastest ways to travel in Path of Exile 2. So, quick description. First of all, in patch 0.3, weapon swap was made instant. Blink cannot be selected per weapon set still, but if you always make sure to use it on the correct weapon swap, and you don't have to use weapon swap to do this. Because if you have your shield charge and blink set up on nice keybinds that you're comfortable clicking in rapid succession, you simply need to shield charge, which will swap to your shield, and blink. And you can instantly tap shield charge if you don't want to shield charge. So you can do blink by just tapping shield charge, blink. If you want to travel, you go, blink. You go, blink. And it's forever. The cooldown never runs out. As long as you have decent level, you have all the cooldown reduction and so on. So how does this work? First of all, there is a shield called Crest of Ardura that previously I used in every league, but it had some limitations. Weapon swap used to be slow, clunky, now it's instant. So this is a fairly big buff if you want to max out your mobility. You can always have the cooldown recovery rate from the shield when blinking, if you actively swap. And remember that if you do swap and blink, it will automatically instantly swap back when you shoot. So it has no downsides apart from learning the habit of doing it. I only have a roll of 45%. You also get cooldown recovery rate from the campaign if you choose it in the circle in Act 4. Can't remember the name. You can still have one more level of blink than I do, etc. So you can improve upon this a bit more. Possibly some rolls on gear as well. Nothing I have access to in solo self-found. But as you see, the cooldown on blink is very quick if simply using the shield and the extra CDR along with cooldown recovery. So another bonus benefit is that when you shield charge into stuff, if you don't have blink, you tend to shield charge and bonk and you get stuck. Sometimes you charge 2 meters and you get stuck and it feels kind of meh. But when you have blink, you can just shield charge until you hit enemies, boom, blink through them, and just keep clearing from the front. So it's an excellent thing. It works for any class. The big advantage of Pathfinder is that we have running assault, which combined with mobility and some other passives makes it full attack speed basically when attacking. So you won't feel the lack of not having a dodge roll whatsoever. That was it for the mobility section. And second of all, I wanted to make a build update. My older planners are still 99% accurate, and most other things I've changed from them are just personal improvisations. I have, for example, been unlucky and still don't have an additional arrow for my sliver tongue. So I temporarily use Nova projectiles, since my gear can now carry the damage penalty, so to speak. While this felt pretty bad early on, except for clear, it now feels perfectly okay with Headhunter and good gear overall. So look at the planners. I had just had a quick peek and they look pretty good. I will clean them up later when I have finalized version. The reason I haven't done so is because it simply felt like no point when I don't know that what I would put would be the best possible setup, and then what I have for now is definitely good enough. So the final version of the build I've been trying out a bit will use the Tailwind helm. However, this lowers the energy shield that Ghost Dance can fill by a whole lot. Ghost Dance fills 7% of evasion, which with good gear is basically all of the energy shield. Because with an energy shield helmet, I have 1.2k, and you can easily have more, of course. And going down to 491 is a bit much. So the build will be exactly like this, with the minor changes that let the chest carry the evasion, use energy shield, gloves and boots to fill out as much as possible. Then the energy shield will be high enough to allow you to quite comfortably use the Tailwind helmet. And then we will have the best of all worlds. We will have Tailwind, we will have Running Assault, and all the Pathfinder goodies for probably the highest possible mobility any build can have outside of random flicker strikes. I don't see any way anything can be faster. Combined with the blink tech just shown. So this will be my final version. I have leveled with this. I took basically half a level. Then I was a bit squishy and died from random unavoidable things such as getting stuck, the big dot on the abyssal chest, etc, etc. So I put it off a bit for SSF, a bit hard to fit it, but this will be the final build. There is a tentative planner for it, which is simply again an export with the boots and gloves changed, and this should work excellently, which I can testify to, having actually done about a level with it. But yeah, that will be not a glass cannon, but definitely a mid-tier defense, to put it that way. And you need good gear to pull it off, and high crit. When using this, the only change to the skills and gems I would have is that even when you have high crit, consider keeping pinpoint critical, because this Tailwind always procs off crits. So having consistent crits really help keeps this up and to build it. And just keep it in mind. Even if this is not the highest DPS gem for you, I would still use it. And a minor note, because many people ask about the DPS on Poison Burst. Previously I ran some setup which accidentally had 14k DPS, I think, and now I have 6, and it's because of the Arrow Nova. But keep in mind that the DPS here is only some sort of indicator when you have everything correctly set up. You cannot compare this DPS to other skills, because, for example, Deadly Poison is the strongest support gem for it. But if you remove it, it will not even show the damage it does, but it will remove less damage with hits. And not the poison. So poison skills simply do not work overall. You have to expand them and look at the stats, and Poison Burst specifically seems extra messy in this regard. So if you remove it, bam, 15k, which is maybe true for the direct hit, but not the poison. And I did test to make sure this worked in 0.2, so it should. With that said, going to keep XPing, managed to return to around the top of the ladder, and let's see how it goes. Not grinding 100%, doing other things and testing the build as well, but we will see what we can do. So, thank you for watching, and see you later.